Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Good Luggage. It's the 4th of December. It is quite cold. At the minute it's saying 4 degrees on the clock. This morning I woke up to a lot of frost on my windscreen, and obviously naturally enough had to get the kettle to try and get rid of all the frost. What I'm going to try and do today is see if a product called Soft 99 Glaco is going to reduce the frost on the window, or will it make it easier to get rid of frost in the mornings. You get up in the mornings, you try and get a kettle of boiling water, or hot water at least, anyway, don't use boiling water. Get a kettle of hot water, remove the frost. So will Soft 99 Glaco help prevent frost build-up on your windscreens? We know it, well, in theory it works with rain repellency, whilst driving around with the rain obviously beating down on the window. So apparently it works with that, but I want to see, in particular for now in this winter month, whether it's going to help with frost prevention on the windows. So let's go through the process. So the process I'm going to do now today is I'm going to wash the window. I'm going to use a clay bar on the window, obviously get rid of any contaminants in the window. I'm going to polish it then using Glass from CarPro, and then I'm finally going to use Soft 99 Glaco and let it sit for, I think it's 5 to 10 minutes. We'll look at the instructions and see exactly what sort of effect it might have tomorrow morning, when in theory it's going to freeze over again tonight. Frost should be on the window. I'm going to do 2 sections, one side that's coated and one side that's not, and see the difference between the two of them then. If you haven't done so already, please take a second to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so you'll know exactly when I drop a new video. If you like it also, please give it a thumbs up. If you think there's better products to be used, I'm just using Soft 99 Glaco because I have it. But if you can recommend any other products, please do so in the comments below. Let me know what's out there, and hopefully I might be able to even try them another time or another stage. Panel wipe I was using just to take off. I was using quick detailer to clay the screen, but the trigger bottle for the panel wipe unfortunately is busted. So right, let's move on to polishing. Okay, so I've never actually really used this before, but I actually thought when I got this originally that it was you put a microfiber over it and use the microfiber on it, but from what I read now is that this is like a rayon pad, and it's actually specifically designed for glass. So I'm going to use CarPro Glass, which is glass polish and cleaner, and it's a water-based polish, so let's see exactly how it does. the window. So anyway, silly squeezy bottle doesn't work. Long durability up to a year. Wipers not necessary. From 45 to 60k. Provide a very strong coating to resist friction by wipers, dust, car wash solution, cleaners, fluorine, blah blah blah. Directions: wash off dirt and dust with water before use. Shake the bottle well without opening the cap. Windshield must be completely dry before application, so we'll make sure that. Cannot get performance when application is on wet surface. Okay. Push the side of the bottle to emit the liquid, then rub firmly against the windscreen. Allow 5 to 10 minutes to dry until the surface turn white. Buff off with a dry clean towel. Please allow 12 hours of curing after application. Right, that's not going to happen unfortunately. Okay, so let's put it on one side, allow 5 to 10 minutes to dry. Now we'll wipe it off and then we'll see what happens in the morning then. Just as well I had to pack it. I'm not going to understand any of that. Okay. Okay, because it's at 20 seconds now, the packet actually said 5 to 10 minutes, so I'm actually going to give it an extra 2 minutes on. Now, let's have a look and see. Okay, so, zoom right here a bit. See all the cloudiness now, all the residues there. Should be dried in by now. I'm going to get my cloth now. I have a, right here, dry clean microfiber cloth that I'm going to use and see what happens. Okay, so the Glaco is on one side and the other side is obviously just been polished and stuff, so we're going to wait until tomorrow morning, and after a hopefully a frosty night we'll see what the difference is. Stay tuned. Okay, so I haven't even driven anywhere yet. I've just come out of the bay there, and just want to show you the difference. It's obviously it's raining here now at the minute, but the difference on the windscreen is already noticeable, so it's kind of I'm hoping for an interesting test, but have a look and see what you think. So actually on the right, this side, driver's side, is the Glaco, and on the left has just been polished with the Seriglass. So I don't know what sort of an outcome we're going to have with the frost, or when frost does hit, but you can definitely see the difference, that there is something on both sides, or something different with both sides. Naturally enough, it's the Glaco, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see when the frost comes. What is it going to do? I'm hoping that basically the frost won't be able to attach. You know, the idea of this whole experiment is that the fact that Glaco is a water repellent. Naturally frost is water, it's just hardened water. So does it act the same way with frost? Let's hopefully there's going to be frost tonight anyway, and hopefully we'll be able to see something tomorrow morning then. So So 11 o'clock, bit late, but everything's defrosted already now. Coated side, all the bits of frost. And then this side, oh, the frost is gone. So it's now Monday the 7th. It's had a couple of days of curing, I suppose, if you want to put it that way, but with cold temperatures. The car is definitely frozen over. Give you a quick look. So it's definitely all solid. That might be, that's a bit kind of dried out a bit. Hopefully the front isn't too dried out. It's still solid there. So that's the side with no coating. So this side has coating and it's still solid. So let's go and check temperatures. So even sitting inside, you can see a bit of a difference obviously where the line was. I'm going to turn off this for a second. Okay, so you can see the difference. This is the coating side, that's the non-coated side. Now there is polish on it obviously. So even if I hit the wipers, let's see what happens. Alright, so nothing's going to come off then. So let's try and heat the window a little bit, as much as we can. And I'm going to kind of skip through this bit until the car is kind of warmed up a bit, and then we'll do the wipers again then. Oh yeah, also to show, the clock is at 0 degrees, so just on freezing point. Yeah, it's cold in here, definitely cold in here. There's not much heat built up in the car either, so we're just kind of going from scratch to see, I suppose, which side will remove itself first. What was actually quite interesting before was that one of the evenings it actually started freezing over. Now the windscreen wasn't completely covered in frost, or in frost I suppose. It was just kind of starting to freeze, and I was able to hit the wipers, and the coated side, or the side with the Glaco on it, actually did remove itself quicker than the other side. Now this has been left overnight, naturally enough, and it's a much harder or thicker frost. So although the wipers won't remove it now, I've the heating on full blast, and we're going to see which one removes itself first then. Another attempt at the wipers, about 2.5 minutes in maybe. So, something's starting to clear on both sides. So you can still see the gap. I'm going to try and keep it in the middle. There's the gap, so let's go wipers a bit more. So it's actually both clearing at the same time. So at the minute there's not much of a difference. Both clearing on both sides. See on the bottom obviously where the air is hitting the windscreen from the inside. So alright, let's do wipers again from the outside this time. Let's keep going. Quite interesting. There's no difference really in them. Although possibly the coated side going a bit quicker than this side. That could be all to do with the way the radiator or the fans are working either. So. Probably doesn't actually sound Doesn't sound too healthy with the wipers going against them, but now you can see the coated side is more or less up at the top here of the windscreen, and the non-coated side is still trying to do its bit. So let's hit the wipers again and see. So that's more or less cleared, I suppose, where the wipers go. The wipers still just haven't cleared that bit there. You know they're hitting it, it's just not clearing it at full, where this side is gone now. Now I have to say the window actually looks different this morning. This is Tuesday morning and 8:05 in the morning. Oops, it is. Sooner than later. And we're going to go and see what the temperature is like now. 1.5 degrees. But outside looked a lot different. You can see the difference between the two bloody air fresheners. See the difference between the coated and the non-coated. So when I hit the wipers now, I mean it's coming off the coated side quicker anyway. Now hopefully you can really see the difference. So just driven a little bit. The coated side is completely clear. Left side is still, well, I mean, it's getting there. Now it goes. Okay, windscreen's gone dry. Let's go for the middle here. Now watch. See the lines created from the coated and non-coated sides. Just about. There's a better angle of it. Okay, so what is the conclusion to this video? Glaco was put on in the first place to try and eliminate the frost buildup on the windscreens. Did it succeed in its task? No, it didn't. The frost seemed to just overwhelm, I think, the Glaco. So my thoughts originally that frost being water, that a water repellent system could repel frost as well. It actually doesn't work like that. There may be other products out there, more stronger products, more, I suppose, branded products, more well-known products that might do such a thing. But I've yet to find out, and I think the frost is possibly gone now at this stage. So it's now it's now January the 11th, so over a month on the windscreen, and Glaco is still performing as a rain repellent very well. Now, it's claimed on the packaging that it works between, I think it's 45 and 65 kilometers an hour. I found it to only be working just when I'm in around the 80 kilometers mark. Going along the road, yeah, you don't need wipers at all. The water just beads or repels straight up the windscreen due to the wind obviously coming against the screen. If you look at the non-coated side, then the water is just building up on that. Even though it's polished and everything like that, the water is just building up on that screen. So definitely the water does repel off the coated side very well still. Yeah, okay, going back to the whole frost situation, there was a part or a section of that video that you could see that the frost did actually, it was very mild frost that was on the windscreen, and the wipers did actually, on the coated side, it did actually clear quite quicker than the non-coated side. So maybe in the milder areas of frost, yes, it does help that little bit more. But if you're talking about a good freeze on the windscreen, it doesn't repel the frost or the ice or frost or whatever it is off the windscreen. The pros and cons of this product is the pros, obviously, it does help with mild frost. It'll get rid of it quicker. The rain, or when it is raining, especially in this country, it will allow the water to run off fairly quickly. You actually really don't need your wipers. It definitely didn't run off on at 45 to 65 kilometers as it claimed on the packaging. it was working at the 80 kilometers road. So I think on smaller back roads you definitely will need your wipers, but if you're on a 100k road or a 120k road, like a motorway or something like that, yes, you more than likely still will use your wipers, but you don't have to, as the water will just run off and you can see much clearly. On the uncoated side, the water just sticks on it, and you definitely do need your wipers for that side then. The only thing that I suppose one of the cons that I got from it is that if it's fog in the air, or a lot of fog in the air, obviously that creates some sort of moisture. So if you're going along, if you're driving along, the moisture will obviously naturally come onto the windscreen. But because there's not enough moisture on it, it'll actually just stick to the window, and it won't actually repel like drops going up the windscreen or anything like that, because you don't have enough water there. So I suppose the lack of water in the air, that's where you'll need your wipers then. It doesn't actually repel tiny little droplets. The other con then I noticed is that it actually does leave a small residue on the outside of the window. And I've noticed on some of the images that you'll see, I'll put them in here now, you can see that there's a residue left over. You can see the marks where I went up and down the windscreen. Even though I did try to polish it out as best as possible, as much as possible as I could, you can still see the marks from where I was actually putting the Glaco onto the screen. I'm not quite sure what's going to get rid of this. It's not a major thing. I think when you start driving, or when you start, the windscreen starts heating up a little bit, those marks go and you actually don't see them at all. So it seems to be just when you've parked the car up for a while and you hit the wipers first off, you know, as soon as you hop into the car, you hit the wipers, you'll see those marks. But then I think it's when there's a bit of heat into the windscreen from the heaters in the car, that seems to go away then. So would I put this product on again? I think I would, yeah. Well, look, I haven't tested many other ones. I don't know, is there any other ones out there that would be better, or have you tried them yourselves? Please let me know in the comments what you've used and the benefits, or I suppose pros and cons that you've had from those products as well. I'd be happy to hear exactly what's out there. You know, there's the G Technic, there's the Rain, there's the Rain X, there's AM Rain, there's loads of different types of ones out there. There's also a CarPro one out there as well, which I've actually just heard that's very good. If you tried any of those products, let me know in the comments what you've tried and what's your opinions on them. As regards the experiment, it definitely didn't work with the heavy frost that we got, especially over the winter period. Now, I'm sure the frost is probably gone for the rest of the year now, hopefully anyway, but it won't get rid of the frost straight away. You need to give it a bit of help with a de-icer of some sort then. But it was an interesting experiment at the same time, and I'm glad that I have some sort of protection on the windscreen to repel the rain. It does make it a hell of a lot easier in the rainy conditions, especially here in Ireland. So I will have to try and figure out how to put it onto the other side that will even it up a little bit, or do I just wait and see until this protection goes itself? So we'll have to manage that one in the meantime. For the time being, I'm going to have to deal with a line going down the middle of the screen. But look at it, it's all in the experimental phase, and it was kind of an interesting test to do, so I'm glad I've done it anyway. So if you liked the video, please don't be afraid to give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate all the comments that's been coming through in the last few videos. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hopefully be doing a couple more experiments like this, but I'm always interested to hear your comments. The comments is a really great thing. I think it's nice to interact with you guys there, hear your thoughts on products, on what I'm doing. Am I doing something wrong? Am I doing something right? Is there something that you've learned from the video? I don't know, like the experiments, I think they're kind of fun from a beginner detailer point of view. You know, what would this do compared to this? I kind of really enjoy doing those projects. So if there's something you want to see as well, please let me know in the comments, and hopefully catch up with you on the next video then. Thanks.